Live from the 17 new studios, this is the Bakersfield mayoral debate, sponsored by Bakersfield Pest Control. Now, your moderators, Jim Scott and Eitan Wallace.
And good evening to you, and thanks for being with us here for tonight's live candidates debate featuring 4 of the 5 candidates for mayor of Bakersfield as we head into the March 2020 primary. Let us introduce them to you. Karen Go is the incumbent. She is also president and CEO of the local nonprofit Garden Pathways. Ms. Go is 64 years old, single, no children. She is a graduate of Bakersfield High School and the University of Southern California. Gregory Tatum is pastor of Change Community Church here in Bakersfield. He's 60 years old, married with 3 children and 9 grandchildren. Mr. Tatum is a U.S. military veteran. He is a high school graduate and holds degrees in biblical and divinity studies and religious philosophy. In his papers filed for candidacy, Joseph Caporale describes himself as a filmmaker. He is 88 years old and a Korean War veteran. And Mark Hudson, a late entry to this race and a write-in candidate. Mr. Hudson is 62 years old. He is married with 6 children. He's an independent businessman, a high school graduate with some college credits to his name. Now, there is a second write-in candidate who, like Mr. Hudson, was certified for the ballot just last Friday, Joey Harrington. He is a small business owner. He declined our invitation to participate in tonight's debate.
And as for the candidates who are here tonight, well, they have been apprised of the rules, and by a draw of the cards, Joseph Caporale will begin with opening statements. Mr. Caporale, 1 minute,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you. I'm Mr. Joseph Caporale. I'm a Korean War veteran, as you know. I'm a recovering alcoholic at 50 years, and thank goodness for that one. I'm here strictly for the people and only for the people. I'll work very hard for them. I want to go on the streets and make things work the way they're supposed to work.
All right, thanks so much. Dr. Tatum?
Pastor Tatum, pastor of Change Community Church here in Bakersfield. I'm here on the invitation of Southern Baptist churches. They invited me 10 years ago to do a church plant, and my goal here is to take this city, this beautiful city of Bakersfield, to the 21st century, to be innovative. We welcome the oil and ag cultures, but yes, we want to innovate with our new young generation and take them in space exploration, engineering, coding, and gaming. So that is my goal as new mayor if I'm elected.
Thank you, Dr. Tatum. Mayor Go.
I've had the honor of serving as your mayor of our city, which now has over 380,000 people. And in this position, I never end my day without thanking God for the many good people of our community, giving of their hard-earned dollars, their precious time, to focus on those issues. They're donating their time to focus on those important needs. At the same time, I never end my day without concern. Concern for the serious issues of our community, those issues that plague our community and virtually every community in California. And all of you know what those are. Crime, drugs, alcohol abuse, and those hold no regard for those who are working to do their part, those who are doing their part to address their families, their businesses, their neighborhoods, their homes. So we are working, and by working, it's all of our leaders, and we're working hard together to address the specific problems. We're also working to see what other California cities are doing. We're also working hard to find solutions, effective solutions for our community. We are prepared, plans are in place, and we're going to work to bring satisfaction to you.
Thank you, Mayor Go. Mr. Hudson.
I'm Mark Hudson. Most of the people in Bakersfield know me by my middle name, Steve. All right. The reason I'm getting into the mayor's race is because I really want the people of Bakersfield to have a choice in how Bakersfield is going to grow. I want everything, no more closet doors, no more voting on the outside. I want everything to go directly to the people. Now, I know a lot of mistakes in Bakersfield, a lot of decisions in Bakersfield was made from the heart, like the homeless shelters, all right, from the heart. Now, some of them may not work. All right, and that's what we're going to debate. That's what we're going to discuss, the homeless. We're going to discuss the police department. We're going to discuss the sanctuary situation of Bakersfield. A lot of the things that we're going to discuss through the people of Bakersfield.
All right, thank you, candidates, very much. My first question is to the challengers first. Mayor Go, you'll have a chance to rebut if you so choose. I think a lot of viewers out there watching this debate would make this presumption that you are here, challengers, because you think you could perhaps do a better job than Mayor Go has done in her first 2 years at the helm. Where she failed the city of Bakersfield, and how would you do better? And I will start off with you, Mark Hudson.
I wouldn't say she failed. I don't think it's a failing situation, but I don't see the accomplishments. I don't see any, I see a lot of incomplete tasks happening, freeways or what have you not. And I think if the people were more involved as far as in her business, you know, in her dealings with, if the people voted more. I don't remember a vote in a couple years, you know, having something to come out seriously on the vote. And I think if the people were to engage more, if you engage the people more, give the people more of a chance to follow their own direction with the city of Bakersfield. And I think that's the only thing that was lacking, is that we weren't informed enough on the activities that were happening, on the functions that were happening, things that we may have objected on. I don't think we heard enough, you know, informed enough. That was the only thing I can say, but everything else I think was great.
All right. Gregory Tatum, how would you do better?
Well, I agree with Mayor Gold. She's been saying for years that the best is yet to come, and I think that's me. So I agree with her on that. So what I want to say is that dealing with the homeless situation, we got 7 different wards, and I want to be able to tackle the homeless situation by having a task force that meet them head on before we get to a homeless situation. Getting that pertinent data to find out who's a paycheck away from being on the streets, what bills need to be paid. We want to be able to lessen the 700 that's currently now without a place to stay. So going with a strategic plan, comprehensive plan, I see more of a reaction versus proaction. I'll be more of a proactive mayor.
All right, Joseph Caparelli, has the mayor failed us in her term, and how would you do better if elected mayor?
You know, first of all, I'm here for the vets mostly, and for the people out there, make sure things go the way they're supposed to go. I see a lot of people breaking ground, nothing being built. I see people out there, I've talked to them on the streets all the time. Quit the conversation, show us what you're doing. Saying they need help. They need help badly out there. The people need some help. They need some voice to be able to talk and speak up. In all these many years, I've never heard voice from the people till now, and I'm going to see if they have it.
All right, sir, thank you.
That's what I'm doing, guy.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mayor Go, a rebuttal, if you will.
It's been my honor to work together with the people from all parts of our community, and I hear every day, you are everywhere, serving us, doing what we need. The issues that we face are extremely, extremely complex, and that's why I am running, because you can't solve these issues overnight. We've prepared the way. We're digging into the issues, but it takes so much digging at all levels. I've established relationships at all levels, at the state and local levels. You'll find me talking to homeless people on a daily basis, and at the same time, talking to business people. And so working together, continuing the work that we've begun, that's the challenge. It takes all of us. This is our community.
Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And we're going to move on now, Mr. Caparelli. We're going to go to you. What do you see as the primary function of the mayor's office? And a follow-up question now, what personal skill set makes you the right person for this job, Mr. Caparelli?
Well, I have no problem with that at all. At my age, I get along beautifully. Thank goodness for my good doctors and everything I have in town here. I'm the guy that gets out of the door every day. I walk the streets, I say hello, I see what the problems are. I will bring them to the attention of whoever we have on the board and see if we can get it better or do it better quicker. But a lot of people need help out there, bad help. Not too long ago, we had a big storm here, I remember correctly. I just say anybody in these nice warm homes driving down the street, see if we can find a blanket for one of those poor guys freezing to death out there. I think it's time we got together on this and did right by the people.
All right,
So
thank you.
have a voice.
Thank you very much. And I want to reiterate the question again. What do you see as the primary functions of the mayor's office? And a follow-up now, what is a personal skill set? What personal skill set makes you the right person for the job, Dr. Tatum?
Well, of course, Bakersfield, that position is an honorary position. The city manager pretty much looked at the day-to-day activity and economic. And in many cases, they're out there cutting ribbons. You know, they're the face of Bakersfield to draw business And the other important thing is it happens to be a tie in city council, they can break the tie. But more importantly, that mayor has to be not just at every place, but at the place make a difference. You could be at every place and not making an impact. I want to be able to make an impact, engaging, not giving lip service, but be able to let them know I'm with you, and not having sympathy, but having empathy. And I don't think they're feeling that. A lot of people say it's kind of a disingenuous, scripted type of a response. But I want to be able to feel them, understand it, and bring that new family dynamic, which I have been married for 42 years. I can do that.
Mayor, go.
The mayor is a public servant. I am a servant of the people, and that is the role for each of us as public servants. By our charter, the mayor is listed as the legislative head for ceremonial purposes and for leading our community. Economic development also is a priority listed in the charter. And so that's what I believe the mayor needs to do. The mayor needs to be an advocate for our city, which I have been able to accomplish in Sacramento. The mayor also needs to be able to spend time with those who are in poverty, our business people, support our oil and ag. The mayor needs to continue to be that public servant everywhere, every day, working hard.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Hudson.
I think the most important thing in being a mayor is uniting the people of Bakersfield. Bringing everyone together to unite, to go against the problems that we're facing now. And what brings me here is I have professional skills in leadership, organizational skills. Those things will allow me to advance various organizations, as she's mentioned, you know, and that's basically what I can bring to Bakersfield.
All right, very good, Mr. Hudson, thank you. Mr. Tatum, much of your campaign is about your connection to faith. Pastor, why do you believe your role as pastor of Change Community Church can help you lead our city?
Well, I believe that by having this background, I talk to people all the time from different walks of life, and they open up to me. They feel like they can trust me. I mentioned before when I was running at that time in 2016, our new mayor, Karen Go, was running as well. I said, I'm not a politician, I'm a man on a mission. I'm on a mission to unite the city by the hearts and to share the love of God. And I think the best way to do it is to listen to everyone that has a concern, not just a special group, not just the money people, not just people that supporting their organization if you're not a part of a certain clique. I want to be for the people and mention that God loves everyone. So I think I'll bring a different perspective.
Thank you, Pastor. Mr. Caparelli, you served as a cop in Las Vegas.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. And what would you do as mayor to ensure our streets are safe?
Well, I've been with the police department here in Bakersfield for quite a while, and they're very honorable, stand-up guys. The fire department, I wouldn't do their work too hard. The officer puts his badge on in the morning. We don't know if he's coming home. He does his job with all of his heart, and that means a lot to me. I wave at them. They're not the enemy. That's my friend. And I want people to understand that about our police department. They're great people. I wouldn't do it. Not again. No. But for that, I will do it now.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Ms. Go, you are president and CEO of the nonprofit Garden Pathways. How has that role equipped you to fulfill the role as mayor?
In our working with at-risk persons, those who are facing the challenges of poverty and at-risk conditions, I've been able to see the challenges that people face. And what we see is that trauma is impacting so many people who are expressing themselves in negative behaviors. We're able then to apply that as we're working with challenges such as homelessness, those who are coming out of incarceration, moving them on in their journey to self-sufficiency. I've been able to see the challenges, but at the same time, I've been able to see families moving on, changing their future forever as people come alongside. And so that's what I believe we must do, is to bring people alongside, but address the root issues. Why is it that we have those expressions of behavior?
All right. And Mr. Hudson, how is your background as an independent businessman equipping you to run the city as in the position of mayor of Bakersfield, sir?
Well, being an independent businessman, you have to be in every facet of your businesses. You have to know how to do everything in your business, you know, and that's what I'll bring to Bakersfield. I know how to organize. I know how to get things done. I know how to delegate. You know, and being a businessman, you have to know how to delegate things. You have to know how to unite your team in order to have something done, in order to get things done. And that's one of the main things I am good at, is organizing and having things done.
Very good, sir.
Thank you so much. And moving on to an issue that many consider the #1 social issue plaguing Bakersfield, Kern County, and the state of California. Of course, that would be homelessness. How would you characterize Bakersfield's efforts to reduce homelessness? And second, what would you propose that has not already been considered as part of the solution? Mr. Hudson, we're going to begin with you.
Building homes for the shelters, so to speak, is something from the heart, and it's a good thing, but it won't work. All that does is a beacon. It will draw more people in to this homelessness. All right, if you put out a beacon that says we're building shelters in Bakersfield, people from outside Wasco and everybody's going to come to Bakersfield because of that shelter. And what we, instead of building a shelter, build something more of a rehab situation where it's a forced situation. It's not going to be something you can walk in and walk out of. If you're living on the streets, you go to this place. We'll pick you up, take you to this place. In there, you'll get rehab, detoxed. You'll get mental evaluation. You'll get social help. So when you do leave this establishment, you do have a place to go, like under the bridge over here off of by the Crab Shack, that little hotel thing right there. Fix that up. So when you leave this establishment, you'll have that establishment to go. But just to build shelters, that'll never work. That's an in and out thing. And you build a 1,000 bed shelter, you already drew in another 1,000 by saying we're building room for the homeless. They're going to come. You build it, they will come. And so that problem will never, ever go away. It'll be forever going.
Thank you very much. Mayor, go.
Homelessness is so complex. One size does not fit all, and we have to have many different approaches to address it. Do we need shelters? Yes, we need emergency shelters to comply with Boise. But at the same time, that does not fix it. We must address the mental health issues, the substance abuse issues, and we have to address the flow. We have to do preventative services so we don't have this ongoing flow. With the mental health issues, I've been meeting with doctors. I've been meeting with people outside of just our wonderful prevention community, but people who can find alternate solutions. We've talked about medical detox and some of the gaps that we have in the system, raising awareness there, going on ride-alongs with our doctors to see that relationship is going to be the key to get that trust, and then we can start addressing the substance abuse issues. We have wraparound services in the shelters that we have developed and ongoing services.
All right, thank you. Dr. Tatum?
Yes, and, some of those points are very valid, and I think that the main thing that they're pointing to is affordable housing. Most people are one paycheck away from being on the streets or being homeless, and I think that what we must do for the attrition rate of getting more homeless on the street, let's go and figure out how we can keep those people that are in homes. Some people have tax issues where maybe they can't afford to pay the taxes. We need to do a more comprehensive investigation on the little things that have people to become homeless. We know we have the mental issue problem. We know we have substance abuse problem, but more so affordable housing is one of the mainstays. And also when we pick this new center, a lot of people in those areas, they crying for potholes being fixed. The most disadvantaged areas have been looked over. So we got to look at the whole big picture. And I think that when we take that comprehensive approach, we can pretty much look at it in a fair way.
All right, Mr. Caparelli.
I think that so far the city here of Bakersfield has done a wonderful job in all respects. The mayor, young lady here, and this young gentleman here, Scott. I think you're all doing a beautiful job, but we have to make sure the money goes where it's supposed to. If they want to go to them homes, let them go to those homes. If they don't push them. There's a dangerous road out there. There's no sidewalks, nothing. Okay. But I've taken that into great consideration from people who I know very well. You have to make sure it's safety for them first to go there. There's no sidewalks. There's someone carried away a little bit, getting hit by a car or something, then we got more problems. We should be, the people who put that in there did a great job. I cannot take that away from them. But where's the money and how much more do we got to spend to do so? The people should know that. I'm here for the people, sir. Right. And I will always be that way.
Thank you, Mr. Caparelli. All right, final question. We're about 4.5 minutes left here. The city is currently searching for a new police chief. The city charter requires that the police chief in Bakersfield be chosen from within the ranks. Do you think that the charter should be changed to allow law enforcement officers from outside of the city to apply for that job? Pastor Tatum, let me start with you.
I respect law enforcement. Even the Bible tells us to pray for those that are in authority. I think to give them a fair opportunity to let it be from within, I think they earn it. They've been here enough to understand the makeup of the city of Bakersfield, and I think would be a dishonor to just bring someone from the outside. I think you should give them the opportunity to hire from within the ranks to promote.
All right. Mr. Caporale, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel that we have some wonderful, wonderful police officers out here, good and big and bad ones to take care of business. Officer Mosley, I've worked with him, fight for the badges, all the good things he can possibly do for the family. He's a beautiful businessman. There's kind of a guy I like to have as the boss.
So do you favor hiring within, or do you think that outside law enforcement officers should
No,
be able to apply?
I think we should keep our home and our family together.
All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hudson, how do you feel about that?
My opinion would be keeping it in home. But then again, I'd also like for them to vote on that. I'm not going to make that decision if I'm mayor. I'd like the people to vote if they want to keep whoever's supposed to move up in ranks, move up in ranks. If not, then I'll go to the direction they choose.
Mayor, go.
I'm so grateful for our dedicated law officers that give so much of themselves. We have a wonderful group of hardworking, dedicated men and women. The opportunity to hire within, we have many wonderful candidates, but why not also give us the broadest choice by opening that up? So from within or from without, we have the broadest field to give us the best candidate.
All right, I think we have just a couple minutes before we go to closing statements. I want to just ask you a quick question with quick answers. Bakersfield is the 9th largest city in California. Oakland is the 8th largest. Oakland pays its city council members roughly $85,000 a year. Bakersfield pays its council members $1,200 a year. Is it time for a pay raise? Pay raise proposals have been rejected 3 times over the last 25 years. By the people of Bakersfield. Is it time to give our council members a raise? Would you take that to the voters as a ballot measure? Mr.
Yes,
Caporale.
I certainly would. Give them a raise. They earn it. They work hard. They make good decisions for us.
Mr.
City
Tatum.
manager making $21,000 a month, most definitely, I think they need a raise. Most definitely.
Mr. Hudson?
Oh, yes, for sure. I think their responsibilities, and they're holding up to their responsibilities. And so, yes, you reward on responsibilities.
Mayor, go on the record on that one.
Our city has grown since the charter decisions were made, and it would be appropriate to let the voters to decide to adjust appropriately for our growing population.
Okay.
All right.
About 2 minutes left.
About 2 minutes. You have about 90 seconds until closing statements. I do want to stay on a similar role. Mayor Go, we're going to begin with you. You know, the mayor's role is largely ceremonial. Would you support converting it into a full-time position?
I actually work full-time with this job. It is a full-time job, but I believe that the way that it is currently set up actually is good. We just need more support. We need people to advocate for us, to come along and support me, but I think the way it is currently set up is appropriate, and it's working if you're willing to spend a lot of hours and hard work.
About 1 minute left.
About 1 minute. Mr. Hudson.
Yeah, I think it should be a full-time position. I think you can get a lot more done and be a lot more active in your communities. You know, you have to let this go and participate on this. You have your mind in so many different places, you're going to get so much done.
Thank you. Mr. Caporale?
I'm, how do you say it? If Mr. Scott here needed help and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be there for him. Or bring someone with me to be with him for him. Or you too, vice versa.
Thank you very much. Dr. Tatum.
I think it would bring a stronger voice to the office of the mayor, and they would look at it not just a symbolic or honorary position. Most definitely, I would support that.
All right, closing statements now, and we will go in the same order as we started tonight, and that would begin. Closing statements, 30 seconds, Mr. Caporale.
I didn't quite hear that, sir.
Closing statement, sir, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Caporale. Pay my dues with the war, with the Army, with the vets, and I'm all for the vets. Believe me, that's why I'm here. I'm for the vets, and they need the help. They need a lot of back help. I'm going to do that for them. They signed mostly for me to get to run for mayor again. I went over that with Mr. Hall there, a nice man, but many times, but it didn't work out. That's okay. He's a good guy. God bless him. But I'm just the opposite on it. I say help our vets, help our people, and keep it right.
Thank you. Gregory Tatum, closing statement,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm also a U.S. vet that served in West Germany when the Berlin Wall came down, and I would definitely would want you to consider me. It's time to hire a true patriot. I was with the Patriot Missile. Elect a true patriot.
Karen Go, final statement, please.
Thank you for caring for Bakersfield, spending time with us today. Truly, I bring my experience not only in this job, but as county supervisor working for years in the business community and also in community outreach, community service. I see as a goal bringing people together and then working really hard to achieve that. I look forward to working with all people from all communities. I would be honored to have your vote.
All right, and finally, Mark Hudson, your closing statement, sir.
If elected mayor of Bakersfield, one of our projects would be to clean the streets, to amplify our police department, to help take care of our streets. I would give a lot of thanks to all the people up here. I appreciate everybody's input on everything.
All right, candidates. Well, we just want to thank you very much for fitting us into your schedules. And we know that as a candidate, your schedules are quite full right now and your plate is full as well. So Joseph Caporelli, Gregory Tatum, Karen Go, Mark Hudson, we want to thank you for coming and taking part and being willing to take part in our candidates debate tonight here on TV 17.
It's been my pleasure being here, sir.
All right, thank you so much. For Aton Wallace, I'm Jim Scott. We want to thank you for watching tonight, and good night.
The Bakersfield Mayoral Debate, sponsored by Bakersfield Pest Control. This has been a public service of KGET TV and 17 News, your local election headquarters.